And you've got some castor beans as for filler. You got moringa here, which is the other cure to cancer.
Yes. And the leaves are...
That's off your moringa.
Yeah.
So we've got, can I pick some of these?
Yeah, I don't care.
So we've got 2 different size of moringa leaves off the same tree, yeah?
Same tree.
Okay, so let me come back here with you. So this is the moringa tree we just picked this off of. You're pruning it.
Yes.
Moringas are really, they respond really well to pruning.
Yes, I've got him chopped right here.
So tell me something, why do you think the leaf structure is different like this?
Well, they'll all get big eventually as they start to grow out. So all the base, as they start to come off of that trunk, they're going to be large like that.
Can I eat this one?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't need very, you definitely don't need very many of these as you would these.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the leaves are so huge
It's amazing.
on these. But yeah, so they'll eventually start to pump them bigger and bigger as the tree grows. So see those ones you got from the bottom? These are bigger. The next ones, these will stretch out and actually get, the leaf will enlarge itself.
How much do you yourself water these, the moringas?
These get watered every day just like everything else does.
Really?
Yeah, so.
Okay, so I gotta say one thing. I've got 10 moringas that I planted.
Okay.
And I stopped watering mine after year 2 at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
And they continue to grow.
Right.
Tasting your leaves, mine have way more bitter aftertaste than yours does. Yours has a more
Sweeter, a little sweeter.
much sweeter.
Yeah.
Yours are much sweeter than mine.
It's the water. It's the water because it's diluting a lot of the bitter from it not having so much water in the cells of the plants.
Wow.
So when you have more water in it, it dilutes that a little bit more and makes it a little bit sweeter.
Like I can eat a salad out of your moringa leaves.
Yeah, I could-
Mine, I have to use them as a garnish.
And the flowers are my favorite. So the flowers, I
Yeah.
put those in yogurts because they're just a little bit spicy, and it
Yeah.
just makes it wonder. Like blackberry yogurt with moringa flowers.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it's just amazing.
So
Amazing.
if you guys come over to Jay's house, bring him some yogurt and moringa flour.
Yes.
Jay, what do you got in the corner over
So in
here?
the corner there, I've got a nice Alfonso mango in the corner, which is a little bit harder to grow here. That's one of the more premier mangoes. I haven't had any issues with that. Right next to it, I've got a pomelo. So that's a Chandler pomelo, which is a very, very sweet grapefruit.
Pretty much my favorite kind of citrus besides, I like some of the tangerines, but I love pomelo so much.
Yes, pomelos are, and they're just not known. They're just not known here.
Yeah.
So that's another one of those ones we want to bring up. There's a Barbados cherry right in the middle. Then we've got a large strawberry tree right behind it.
Strawberry tree, for folks that don't know.
A strawberry tree or a Jamaican cherry tree puts on a berry that tastes exactly like cotton candy. Like exactly like cotton candy.
And the flowers look like strawberry flowers of the plant.
They're very beautiful flower. They're beautiful plants, and they'll take the heat here, and they grow extremely fast. Like that's been in there maybe 6 months.
Wow.
And so they'll start small and really, really grow fast. So strawberry tree, then I've got a donut peach here. This is the Stark donut peaches.
Or the Saturn peach.
The Saturn peaches.
They're really popular in China. I love those ones so much.
Yes. And then behind it, I've got a custard apple, a smaller custard apple. I've got a mandarin planted, an Awari satsuma that's planted at the base of the strawberry tree. And then a mango on the side, a persimmon, another mango, a pear, a large pear.
This pear looks incredibly healthy.
And all this is within a,
It's huge.
I don't know, maybe a 10 by 10 square.
Wow.
So if you pick them, you see they canopy at different layers. I let things go high, some things go low, so that everything fits into the landscape, basically. You know.
And explain to me one more thing. The bowling balls. What's up with the bowling balls?
The bowling balls. Well, one I collect them because I make a lot of art with them. But
Where do you get all these bowling balls from?
Goodwill. So
Oh,
I just
really? Okay.
Take them out of circulation. You can go buy them for $1. Other thing I'd put them out here is for yard decoration and to tell me where my mulch level lies.
Oh, really? So they're like a spotter for you.
They're like a spotter, so I like to keep the mulch about 8 inches. So that's what a bowling ball is, roughly about 8 inches. So at the top of the bowling ball, if I see the crown, the color coming through, then I know I need to remulch or recompost and get it back out here again. So it's
That's
just a meter, like a gauge, a visual gauge around the yards that I can kind of go off of.
I love it. They also call this a variegated lemon, but it's also a pink lemon, and I know a lot of folks out there who watch have never heard of this before, so.
Yes, so this is called a variegated pink lemon. It is a Eureka lemon.
Okay.
And as soon as it puts on the fruit, they're going to be yellow with green stripes.
And it's variegated because the leaves are variegated, right? They have 2 different tones of colors.
Yeah, in fact, there's one a little bit closer. So the leaves have 3 different colors. 3 different colors in the leaves. You've got
Okay.
that white, the dark green, and the light green.
Okay.
And so these don't have as much chlorophyll as a typical lemon does, so they're not quite as productive, but the fruit is so much cooler because
Yeah.
it's yellow with green stripes, and then you cut into the inside of it, and it's hot pink.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So this is the pink lemon.
Yes, this is the pink lemon, and I'll get a knife in the front and we'll cut this one open in a little bit. So this is how it'll look. This one should have the pink, but it might not have quite got the pink yet. When they go too long, they turn solid yellow, and then the color inside goes normal.
Same tree, same fruit.
Same tree, same fruit. Yep. But this is just as good to eat. It's just probably has gone to the normal lemon color.
But if you want to impress your friends, this is the one you give them.
This is the one that you give them. Yep, is the variegated pink lemon.
So folks out there that are trying to grow a lot of citrus, you got to have a variegated pink lemon.
Yeah, and there's variegated grapefruit and variegated cara cara. I've got a variegated
That's
cara
amazing.
cara in the front, so you
Wow.
can get some cool colored plants that
Yeah.
look beautiful and will provide food for you. You know,
Wow.
if you're gonna get a lemon, get a cool lemon.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? Little ghost apple in front here. A little fig. Just put him in not too long ago. Mango. We got a mulberry that's 3 years old from seed here. Which not very many people have the seedlings because this was before we could buy the trees.
How did you plant this from seed? Where did you get the seed from? Did
So
you order it?
I ordered the seeds online, and this was before we could get fruiting mulberries here. Before Lowe's started carrying them again, Dawn started carrying them again.
Seamus has had a lot of
Seamus
O'Leary.
Yep, has had a lot of the mulberries. But before that, we were stuck growing our own because they were basically illegal here, you know. So I grew this one from a seed.
But as I tell folks, they're actually only really illegal for large developers who are planting a landscape for an apartment
Right.
or a corporate office.
Right.
They don't want them to be used as landscape trees.
That's right.
And they're only really against the males that produce the pollen.
Right.
Maybe in HOAs against the purple fruit.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, plant the white fruit.
Plant the white fruit.
But nobody's against growing your own food at home.
No. No.
I mean, we're in America, I think.
Yes.
I think we're in a free country.
Sometimes we are, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to use him and overgraft him. So I'm going to actually cut the tops off of this tree.
Wow. 3 years from seed.
Cut the tops off this tree, and then I will graft onto each one of these arms a different variety. So I can put a Pakistani, a Shangri-La,
Yep.
a white, an Oscar, and then just change this to the 4
And
varieties.
just grow one branch of each off the same tree.
One branch of each off the same tree. Yes. You can buy some trees like that. Like, for instance, I've got this multi-graft apple here.
I know that you know Doug Jones from the Rare Fruit Growers.
Yes.
I did a couple of videos with him on how to graft, so people can refer to my grafting series if they want to learn how to do that on my
Okay.
YouTube channel.
Nice, nice. So some of them come pre-grafted. Like I bought this at Lowe's as a 3-in-1 apple or a 4-in-1 apple, where they've already done the work for you.
Right.
Or you can do your own grafting. Like I did a little apple graft on this one.
Uh-huh.
So this is a ghost apple.
Looks like it took pretty well.
Yeah, this is a ghost apple that's
So
put.
the folks out there can see this is the original apple that you had purchased,
Yeah, that's a golden Dorset.
Golden Dorset, and then this is the ghost apple that you yourself kind of basically sutured together to this one
Yes.
through the technique called grafting.
Yes, and it's very, very, very easy. I did those actually with those little pliers, that
Yeah.
little tool
Cool.
that cuts the positive negative. So that thing works really, really good. So you're not stuck with any certain variety either. I mean,
Yeah.
you can have an apple with 15 different varieties of apples on them, or a pear with 15 different varieties of pear. You know, behind you is a peach, 2 different varieties of peach.
And it looks like behind this apple, you've got another finger lime going on back there.
Yeah, I've got a pretty good sized finger lime back here. I was one of the first people here to get them. So he's pretty big now. He is bigger than me, or taller than me now. So he's a pretty good size. So that's the Australian finger lime. It puts
Yeah.
on the little citrus that looks like a little finger.
And all the lime inside of it is like little fish eggs.
Little fish eggs, like caviar.
Yeah, like
Yep.
caviar.
Yep, citrus caviar. And even here's another good example. I've got mango, dragon fruit, mango, plum, mango, Australian finger lime, apple, all that just within this
And shopping cart,
and shopping cart. Yes.
all together in this one area.
All together in this little area, so you can really, really clump them in there.
Were you using the shopping cart as a trellis at some point or something, or what were you doing?
It was at one time for a non-fruiting vine,
Yeah.
and now I've got it here for the dragon fruit. So now I'm going to let the dragon fruit go up, and it'll actually fill that whole cart full of the dragon fruit arms. And then everything that flows over the sides will fruit, because those will be the fruiting bodies.
That's cool.
So I think it'll look pretty cool,
Yeah, I think so.
you know?
Cool. But very few gardeners in the Phoenix area or in very sunny climates actually plant enough to create that microclimate.
Right, exactly. I mean,
So you have created the microclimate. How are you going to ensure that when they do leave out, that every tree gets enough sun?
like I said, I'm always looking up. So I'm always looking up and I'm always looking down. I'm always looking at the ground, the spacing around things, but I'm always looking up too to see which tree has space. Does it have a little bit of sky space there? Can it get there? Does it need to get there? Is it an understory plant like a persimmon where it can stay underneath everything? We don't care, you know? So a lot of it's you're picking favorites. You know, which trees do you like the best? Well, to me, it's mangoes, peaches, so I let those get huge, you know? Those have a slight advantage over the other trees. But you can always cut things back, and it always helps to regenerate them anyway, because you've used and abused them. So, for instance, the peach tree, that thing got so big and just broke and splattered all over the place that he needed a break. So he needs 2 years break, so cut him back, let him regrow again, let those turn into fruiting wood, fruit spurs again, and then start to use him the next year again. So you got to give them a little bit of a break too. So during that time period, that whole canopy's gone. So now other trees now have a chance to get up and through there.
Just like in the forest, that's the same thing.
Just like in the forest, yes. There are a lot of casualties in plants and in the forest. So a lot of people think, well, I want to get all these trees and every one of them has to survive and look good, whatever. That's not the way it works. Out in nature, if you have an old tree, a tree that's been around 300 years, you won't believe what he has seen come and go, like around him, as far as what's been disadvantaged, no light, whatever. So it is survival of the fittest to a certain degree.
In humanity, the same thing. I mean, this might, I don't know how this sounds on camera, but people like Kurt Cobain and Bruce Lee, who died so young, part of the reason why they had so much impact is because they died young.
Right.
So sometimes even humans that perish way before their time can inspire so many more because they died early.
Yeah.
And in the forest, a tree that dies early, now all that bark and leaves, replenishes the nutrients of the surrounding trees around it.
Yep. So yeah, there's gonna be some loss, but it's part of nature. Is life, birth, and death. You know. So it's gonna be the same thing on these plants.
If we can do a circle one time and we can see that 360 degrees around this whole nook, you got it planted out.
Yes.
So enlighten us really quick as to some of the varieties you have in here.
Okay, so we'll kind of start over here with a tango mandarin. We've got a tango mandarin on the edge. That's a seedless mandarin.
Okay.
Mexican cream guava.
Okay.
Right next to it. Kiwis, female kiwis.
You're
male kiwis.
growing the kiwi vines up here.
Yeah, the fuzzy kiwis.
Yeah.
You
You gotta have a male, female, right?
Yes, I've got a male in the middle, and then a female and a female.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
two females and a male. Mangoes, like I said, they're my favorite. So this is a fruit punch. This is another fruit punch. This is a dot mango. This is a Pim Sing Mum, which is one of the ones that you can eat green.
Okay.
It's one of the green mangoes. We've got a Barbados cherry planted down here at the bottom of a coconut cream mango. Then in the corner we've got a lemon Cattleya guava, pecan, right in the middle. Then we've got a Valencia orange, a blood orange, a Caracara orange, another blood orange, another navel orange. Then we've got mangoes. We've got a Coggeshall, or I think it's this one, a Cushman, and a Marlies mango. Then we've got this, which is the bagel peach, which is the larger version of the donut peach.
The donut.
Bagel peach. Behind that, we've got a
Food forest.
apple. Yeah, more mangoes. Low pot, nice big low pot in the corner there. Apples, yeah. So this will eventually be either my seating area or a natural swimming pond. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do back here yet, but eventually it'll be nice and private because all this stuff will have grown in.
That'd be cool to have a natural pond that you can swim in.
Yes. Oh, and wisteria. This is all wisteria. So when that blooms, you just get those purple chains that just hang down.
That's amazing.
So you're really wanting to create your environment and create a 3D environment where you don't necessarily lose all the plants. So if you look through here, every plant has a different size, shape, color, texture, variety, so that you're not looking into just a hedgerow of green.
Of one variety.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I like to have the spacing, everything a little bit different.
And this is January 1st.
And this is January 1st.
Let alone if we come back in May or August or October.
Yeah, it's going to get nuts. So you can see the same thing, how it's layered here.
Because this is your wall back here, but this is also your front yard of your property that we haven't even touched on yet.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so the lime pokes over, star fruit, I got a big Australian bottle tree, bananas, nectarines, guavas. So you still see all those layers, and you still see that everybody gets enough light because I've done all my winter pruning.
Accordingly.
Yeah, I've done all my winter pruning so that all the light can get in exactly where it needs to be during this time of the year.
So Jay, how does somebody who is a welder, who are usually very skillful, salt of the earth people, you know, very tough in my opinion, get into gardening?
I think it just touched on that natural side of me. I got too into that industrial field, more or less. I got into cars and welding and fuel and you know, oil, and it's just all that stuff's like not really that great for the environment. So my tastes have just changed over time since I've gotten older. So as a young guy, you know, you're into the tattoos and the dirt bikes and the cars, but as I've gotten a little bit older, I've just wanted to settle a little bit more down. Like last year, New Year's, I was out in the yard. I was just out here with the flashlight looking around because this is where my solace is. This is my peace now. And I realized that doing any of that other type of work is just not good. Plus 9 to 5, that kind of schedule just really beats a person's soul down.
Absolutely.
Especially after they've done that 40 or 50 years. You know, they have nothing left. They've given everything away of themselves to somebody else.
Because 8 hours a day you're sleeping, and so if you do 8 hours a day working, you have barely 8 hours a day just recovery.
Right. So where do you get your time for your stuff?
Correct.
You know, especially your meals. Where's the 3 meals in there?
Yeah.
The 3 good sit-down meals, you know, where you can actually sit down and enjoy them.
And not every country on the planet has that kind of schedule. It's unique to America a lot of the time.
Right.
That has that.
Right. Yep. And there's a lot of unhappy people in this country, and a lot of the poorer countries, they're a lot happier people because they've got a lot more time, you know.
Well, let's go in the front yard and check out 2 more trees you want to show us.
Sure.
And see what that pink lemon looks like on the
All right,
inside.
let's do it.